What's up, with y'all, man? It's your boy David. We back with another reaction video. Today, we're looking at some new shit I never heard. I heard of Gamergate, but I never heard of Pizzagate, the internet's darkest rabbit hole. With that being said, make sure you like and subscribe. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Let's do this pizza. I almost said pizza gay. I mean Pizzagate. Shit is about, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Could you imagine a world where the top 1%, the elites of our society, the ruling class, the ones who run the government and are pulling the strings behind everything, are secretly involved in some of the most depraved things that you could ever possibly imagine?
Yes, bro. The Epstein files just came out, bro. Like they got everybody in that motherfucker, bro. The most shocking part was when they got Pusha T in that bitch. I was like, Pusha? Malice, little bro? That nigga? Damn, that's tough. That's tough.
I'm getting a feeling of deja vu. I feel like I've heard this story before somewhere. Nowadays, that might not be that hard to believe, but back in 2016, this was something that was unfathomable to most people.
And on that Pusha T shit, that shit was so crazy because Kendrick was literally at the Grammy shouting out some niggas, and then he shouted out Pusha and them. And then that literally just happened. And I watched a TikTok about this dude. No. The TikToker's name is Real Takes. He makes really good videos, bro. And he was talking about how hypocritical it is that Kendrick is out here not only making music with somebody like Playboy Cardi, who is a deadbeat, but also is friends with a nigga like Pusha, who's in the files, like to like a very like, I wouldn't say the highest capacity, but being in the files is something of an indictment to your character. So yeah, that's just more reason as to why J. Cole is the greatest rapper of all time, because you know, Kendrick out here shouting out abusers. Jermaine slapping abusers, nigga. Kendrick out here glazing abusers. Jermaine out here putting them niggas in a place. That nigga slapped Diddy, bro. He slapped him, bro. Oh God, he slapped that nigga. Psh, it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Fall off on the way, bro. No cap.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome or welcome back. My name is Chase, and today we're talking about Pizzagate. So when Pizzagate started gaining traction during the heated 2016 election cycle on places like Poll, 4chan's political board, it wasn't hard to initially dismiss.
Niggas still use 4chan in 2020. What was this? What did he say?
About Pizzagate. So when Pizzagate started gaining traction during the heated 2016 election cycle on places,
I mean, I guess niggas was using 4chan in 2016. I wouldn't know. I wasn't really on like the internet in 2016. I'm not gonna lie.
Places like Poll, 4chan's political board, it wasn't hard to initially dismiss the whole thing as nothing more than a crazy alt-right conspiracy. But I think it's worth revisiting the theory in modern times, especially in light of recent events. Let me say first and foremost that I have no political bias here, and all I care about is the evidence that has been—
I do not fuck with conservatives at all. I think they're fucking strange people, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That's my bias. Y'all should have been on that though.
Presented. My goal is not to convince you that Pizzagate is real, nor is it to disprove it. All I'm here to do is present to you the theory as a whole and all the supporting evidence, and then you can come to your own conclusions.
Bro, my two strands are so fresh, like the back of my scalp literally feels like it's on fire, bro. No cap.
I'll also note here that I've spent over a month going down this rabbit hole, and every mainstream source is so quick to say that it's debunked and there's no truth behind it at all, but I haven't seen a single one of them actually debunk any of the evidence. But you should obviously take their word for it, because they probably have hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars even, and I'm just a little chud in my room sitting at my computer, so I'm sure they just have more information that I don't and no one else does for some reason. Viewer discretion, of course. We're going to be talking about some—
Is he being sarcastic? What the fuck? Okay, bro. Shit.
Dark shit here, so if you don't want to watch that, this is not the video for you. That all said, I hate to say it, but don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really—
Exactly. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for real, bro. And if you don't want to watch no scary shit, take your puss ass home, nigga. Fuck you talking about, bro.
helps me out a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and let's get right into it. Pizzagate sparked in 2016 when WikiLeaks published over 20,000 emails from the inbox of John Podesta, Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman during her presidential run. Immediately after these leaks were published, people online began scanning these emails line by line, finding many strange references and jokes that sparked suspicion that there was something more going on here. Before we go over some of these emails, it's important to note here that while the interpretations of the coded language within the emails is unsubstantiated, the emails themselves are completely legitimate. The Podesta emails were reviewed and confirmed to be authentic by multiple US intelligence agencies, including the CIA, FBI, and the NSA, which is the National Security Agency. So while the interpretations of these emails can be debated, nobody is disputing the authenticity of the emails
I
themselves.
remember, man. I remember back in that election, they literally told they was talking about Hillary deleting a bunch of emails. Are these like the emails? Does it have to do with do those deleted emails have to do with this in any capacity or something? Or am I just talking out my ass, bro? I don't know.
Of course, I can't talk about all 20,000 emails here, and most of them are mundane and irrelevant to what we're here to talk about today, but here are a few of the most notable ones that helped fuel the initial theory. One of the first emails that really caught people's attention was sent by Susan Sandler, a philanthropist and political donor who did donate to Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign run, to John Podesta. The email reads, "Hi John, the realtor found a handkerchief. I think it has a map that seems pizza related. Is it your ruse? They can send it if you want. I know you're busy, so feel free not to respond if it's not yours or you don't want it. I just came from checking the field house and I have a square cloth handkerchief, white with black, that was left on the kitchen island. Happy to send it via mail if you let me know where I should send it." It's not hard to see why this would catch people off guard. What is a map that seems pizza related on a handkerchief? What the fuck does that even mean?
Man, that shit sound conspiratorial. That shit could be some freak. It could be some freak shit, y'all. That could be some freaky ass shit, dude. You know how these rich niggas get. They get. Hey, once a couple billion start to hit your bank account, niggas start getting freaky. I ain't gonna lie. No cap.
Well, coincidentally, the handkerchief code is a color-coded system.
Oh shit! I did not know that. What does this mean? Oh, it is some freaky ass shit. Oh shit! What was the colors? Damn, latex fetish. What the fuck? Suck it. Oh shit! Is this like that upside down pineapple people? Oh shit! That's crazy. Has 8 or more? What? Pisser. Of course, pisser is fucking yellow. Holy shit. Whoa! Yo! Torture! Hey, these niggas are freaks. Oh my god.
That people use to communicate their interests and pleasures non-verbally. Different colors relate to different acts or things that people are into, and I will not elaborate farther on that if it's that important.
Yeah, you don't gotta elaborate it. I already elaborated enough, buddy. God damn, the boys it's getting crazy up in there. No cap.
You can look that up on your own time. These people are like old boomers, so maybe they just communicate differently and they have some dementia going on. But again,
yeah, they're using them. They're color coding their sexual preferences, bro. You know, they're too old to talk about this shit like proper human beings, so they're color coding their fucking sexual preferences, bro, like some goddamn like old ass people. That's crazy.
Is a pizza related map. What even is that? Another email that caught people's attention was sent to John Podesta by Herbert Sandler, who was at the time a
Man, this nigga a freak. I know this nigga a freak. Herbert Sandler. Ugh. I know he be touching himself every day. This is crazy.
CEO of Golden West Financial Corporation, a major political donor to the Clinton campaign. Now Herbert Sandler is burning in hell. I'm joking. Rest in peace, Herbert Sandler. I'm sure he did nothing wrong at all.
Yeah, that nigga died? What the fuck? I didn't know that nigga died. That's crazy.
Mary and John, I think you should give notice when changing strategies which have been long in place. I immediately realized something was different by the shape of the box, and I contemplated who would be sending me something in the square-shaped box. Lo and behold, instead of pasta and wonderful sauces, it was a lovely, tempting assortment of cheeses. Yummy. I'm awaiting the return of my children and grandchildren from their holiday travels so that we can demolish them. Thank you so much. I hope you and your gang are well. I miss you both. Best wishes. Throw a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Herb.
P.S. Do you think I'll do better playing dominoes on cheese than pasta? The thing that stood out as weird.
What does this mean? Is this also some freaky sexual shit? Like is is the family involved? What the fuck?
To people is that last line. It's just worded in such a strange way. People don't typically refer to eating something as being on something. People online began theorizing that cheese and pasta and these terms used for food were actually code word for something else. That something else being kids, and I know that.
But he just said he was gonna eat the shit with his grandkids. What the fuck? Am I missing something? Y'all, what the hell going on, bro? This is some evil ass shit, bro. What's going on?
That's quite the leap in logic to make, but it's not the only example of strange references to food in these emails. Like this email sent from Tony Podesta, John Podesta's brother, would love to get a pizza for an hour. Like again, what does that mean? If we're just talking about lunch, that is not a normal way to say that. Imagine your friend gets a hold of you and they say, hey dude, you want to go get a pizza for about an hour? Like what? What does that mean? This one is in a long chain of emails, so I'll...
And maybe if they said, let's go get a pizza in an hour, okay, we're going to go get a pizza in an hour time. Okay, but a pizza for an hour, that boy get his shit rubbed, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying?
spare you from me reading the entire...
That boy get his pizza rubbed, nigga. No cap.
Thing, but the part that stood out to people here was Bonnie will be Uber service to transport Ruby, Emerson, and Maeve Lozado, 11, 9, and almost 7, so you'll have some farther entertainment, and they will be in that pool for sure. Excuse me?
What? 11, 9, and 7? Oh, they're going straight to hell. Them niggas are fucked. It's over with, bro. If hell is real, they're there, buddy. Trust me.
What? That obviously sounds really bad, and unfortunately there's no context that makes it sound any better. And it just gets weirder because there's a whole nother rabbit hole to go down with this woman. Reportedly, Lozado ran a website known as Evie's Crib, which was kind of like a blog. It's hard to confirm because as soon as people started talking about this, it was removed almost immediately, but if this blog is real, it looks really bad. The website apparently featured many pictures of Lozado around young children, including her step-granddaughter, Evie. The header of the website reads, Evelyn is growing up. Soon she will be the queen of the entire US of A. Right now, for a limited time only, you can spend some time with her online, raw and uncut.
What? Why the fuck would anybody want to spend time with someone's grandbaby online? What is this? Yo. No wonder they took this weird ass shit down. What is this, bro? The fuck?
Take advantage of this now, as in the future, she will have the power of life and death over you. First of all, why are people spending time online with your granddaughter at all? And then...
It's disgusting. Make you want to throw up in... shit.
Raw and uncut, that is just a really weird way to describe that. Whoever was running this website categorized these posts with labels so you can find exactly what you're looking for easily. Posts were labeled under categories such as psychopath, evil white bitch,
What? Discomfort. Cutie pie. What? What? Nigga. Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
filth, malpractice, discomfort, manipulation, and Ambien.
Did that should say skullduggery? Hold on.
Such as psychopath, evil white bitch, filth,
Hold on.
malpractice, discomfort,
Look, y'all see that skullduggery? What the fuck that mean? Shit weird, bro.
manipulation, and Ambien.
Sorry.
Ambien, for those who don't know, is a prescription drug that is classified as a hypnotic and is used to treat insomnia short term. One of the side effects of Ambien is that it wipes your memory. Many people have no recollection of anything else that occurred or what they did after dosing. Why would that be?
I ain't gonna lie, Ambien must cause some intense brain damage, cause do you know how it just wipes your memory? That's crazy.
A category on this blog that she apparently uses to post pictures of her children and grandchildren. That's really anyone's best guess. Another picture on this blog shows a baby after bath time, and while not inherently sinister, it's definitely a little bit weird even though you can't see anything. But the caption here is what really stands out. It ends with, "Unrated version of this photo available only to premium subscribers."
Unrated? What the fuck does unrated mean? Jack luxuriated and exfoliated.
At the absolute best, if this website is real, which again I can't confirm, this is an incredibly weird and tasteless joke to make. This is something that I feel uncomfortable even saying right now. The last email we'll cover for right now.
Why the fuck are they talking about how goddamn exfoliated the baby is, bruh? Oh, man. 5 feet out.
Is sent by Maria Abramovich to Tony Podesta and later forwarded to his brother John Podesta. Google describes Abramovich as a conceptual performance artist who has pushed the boundaries of performance art as a visual art form since the 1970s. Personally, I would just say that she's a freak, but anything is art, right? Dear Tony, I am so looking forward to the spirit cooking dinner at my place.
Ain't nothing wrong with being a freak. Just be a freak the legal, ethical, proper way, actually. You know? Just do it the right way. That's the best part. These niggas out here moving, they moving flagrant. I ain't gonna lie, they moving mad. Flagrant, nigga, like, no cap.
Place. Do you think you will be able to let me know if your brother is joining? All my love, Marina. Marina Abramovich. I think I called her Maria a second ago, but anyways, it seems innocent enough at first glance. But what is spirit cooking? I mean, probably just some unconventional or traditional way of cooking if I had to guess, but it actually turns out that's not what it is at all. You see, spirit cooking—
I would have thought this is gonna be some freaky ass shit. Spirit cooking is probably some goddamn slang code word for, I don't know, spitting in someone's butt or some shit. I don't know, bro.
Cooking is an art form or occult ritual invented by Abramovich, inspired by the idea that ghosts feed off of intangible things like light, sound, and emotion. For this reason, her recipes involve things like evocative instructions for actions and thoughts, and bodily fluids. A few excerpts from her—
That shit did look like blood and poop. Oh my gosh, yo, she's a fucking freak. This nigga's right. She's a nutty. This bitch is a nut, bro. No cap.
cookbook are as follows. With a sharp knife, cut deeply into your middle finger of your left hand. Eat the pain. Look in the mirror for as long as it is necessary for your face to disappear. Don't eat the light. A moment ago, I referred to spirit cooking as an art project or an occult ritual, and I wasn't being facetious. This is how Abramovich herself views her work. In an AMA on Reddit, Marina says herself that the context is what makes something art or not. Quote, "Everything depends on which context you are doing what you are doing. If you are doing the occult magic in the context of art or in a gallery, then it is art. If you are doing it in a different context, in spiritual circles or private house or on TV shows, it is not art. The intention, the context for what it is made, and where it is made defines what art is or not." So in her own words, they are doing an occult ritual. If you're curious to see this spirit cooking, you can find a video—
But I guess, they're doing some occult ass shit because they're doing it privately. Yeah, it's some freaky occult shit, bro.
online of Abramovich giving one of these artistic performances herself.
I'm not watching that shit, bro. I'm not finna watch this hoe cut somebody on live television. I'm sorry, bro. You ain't finna play with me like that, bro. Y'all can watch that if y'all want to, though.
As demonstration. The video shows Abramovich writing phrases from her cookbook on a wall in pig's blood and then dousing the—
Pig's blood? Saliva of your lover mixed with morning dew collected from eucalyptus leaves. Bro, this bitch is a witch, bro. What the fuck is going on? She's crazy.
statue of a small child in it. Now, of course, there's no way to say for sure if John Podesta attended this spirit cooking event or not, but coincidentally, in photographs from around that time, John Podesta can be seen with a band-aid on his left hand's middle finger. And people online have also mentioned that his hands, and particularly his fingers, are awfully scarred, as if they've been deeply wounded repeatedly, but I'm sure that's unrelated.
Maybe he was just cooking regular food, you know. He's just, I'm cooking, I cut myself, la 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 la. Or he's out here cutting himself for that witch bitch. I don't know, bro.
Clearly, these are really bad optics, and we've already reached a point where the absolute best case scenario is that these people are involved in the occult and are doing blood rituals in private. People who are powerful, ruling class members of society are being invited to, in private, perform ceremonies and worship old world gods like Moloch and Baal, but more on that in a second. This is where James Alefantis and his world-famous pizza come in, and it only gets weirder. So who is James Alefantis? Well, he's an entrepreneur who owns Comet Ping Pong, a pizza restaurant located in Washington, D.C., and also a location that was frequently mentioned in the Podesta emails. He's also one of the most powerful and influential people in the nation that you've never heard of. Despite being nothing more than a restaurant owner, GQ listed him as one of the 50 most powerful people in Washington in an article published in 2012. GQ writes, "Liberal 20-somethings in khakis drink beer and eat pizza at Alefantis-owned Comet Ping Pong. More established progressives wine and dine next door at Alefantis-owned Buck's Fishing Camping." Alefantis is also the board president of Transformer, the contemporary art gallery that shamed the Smithsonian for removing an installation offensive to right-wingers. When it comes to DC radical chic, Alefantis is unsurpassed. If you don't know him, you aren't wearing your scarf right. So basically, this restaurant owner is the pretentious king of the woke, and if you're left-wing and you don't know who James Alefantis is, you must not be wearing your scarf right. Get out of my pizza shop, you peasant. When it comes to radical chic in DC, I am undefeated. Anyways, if this guy is one of the 50 most powerful people in our nation's capital, he must make some pretty good pizza, or have connections somewhere else, right? Well, James Alefantis is a gay man who was involved in a relationship with David Brock, who was chief of Media Matters, a major media organization tied to the Democratic Party, until he left in 2022. David Brock also founded Correct the Record, a super PAC created in 2016 to support the Clinton campaign. At a surface level, this doesn't seem that weird, and it
Just seems like Democratic Party shit. I don't really see the issue here. He's gay, owns a restaurant, owns a couple other things, but he's not out here drinking pig's blood and goddamn writing shit in blood and I don't know, spirit cooking and putting fucking handkerchiefs with different colors all over the place and ordering pizza and all this weird ass shit. I don't know, bro.
does help explain some of the political power and influence that James Alefantis has. But then people found his Instagram account at
How is he so influential when he has 800 followers? The fuck? Not saying followers means you're influential, but come on, only 800 and he's that powerful? How's that possible?
Jimmy Comet, and as you can probably guess, it only gets weirder. We'll start with this picture that he had up on his Instagram showing a young child being held in a man's arms. Nothing wrong with that, but the caption of this picture is #ChickenLovers. Chicken lover is well-known coded language that was used in the 1994 documentary film Chicken Hawk that focuses on homosexual relationships with a large age gap. An age gap so large that it makes the relationship itself criminal. There's also...
Wait, hold on, wait, no. Maybe they just like chicken or something. There's no way he's actually... Oh, that nigga's a freak. Oh, that fucking baby can't even walk. Oh my god.
This image that appears to be of a walk-in cooler being referred to as the kill room in the comments. Alefantis captioned this picture, "Oh yeah, this looks fun," and then he went into the comments under his own post and wrote #murder. And like with everything else here, this is really only barely...
Why are these people so fucking strange? They're so weird. They don't act normal. They just act so weird. I don't understand this shit, bro. Like what are they on? Niggas just out here taking random pictures of of dudes with babies and a fucking um freezer. Like, is he okay? This nigga's not okay, bro.
Scratching the surface. There are countless weird pictures and captions from the Jimmy Comment Instagram, and if we went through all of them, we would be here all day. There's this picture of a young child with euros in his mouth, and Jimmy Comment writes, Hashtag Karis James loves spending euros. There's this picture of a baby doll holding a sign that says, German baby $1,200, please do not touch. Jimmy Comment writes, way overpriced. There's this picture of a young child with their hands taped to a ping pong table. And in the comments again, someone else writes, hashtag Karis James. Karis James seems to be a recurring thing referenced in Jimmy Comment's captions and comments, and it's really anyone's best guess what that could be. But coincidentally, there is a small Caribbean island, or island, named Little St. James. That Caribbean island named Little St. James happened to be owned by a now very famous...
No fucking way. Don't you dare say Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, it is Jeffrey Epstein. That nigga said financier. That fake ass job. Holy fuck, bro.
financier who was from New York. I'm sure you've seen that guy's name in the news recently. And of course, this was years before anyone knew what was happening at that island. That wouldn't come until 2019. Then people realized that Jimmy Comment's profile picture on Instagram wasn't a picture of him, it was actually a picture of a statue. Nothing weird about that, except that this specific statue was the statue of Antinous. Antinous was a Greek pubescent who got involved in a relationship with Roman Emperor Hadrian, who was in his late 40s, and he's specifically known as the Greek boy lover. Now, this wasn't seen as anything bad in the ancient world societal norms, but of course we look at that a lot differently today. And this easily could have just been a coincidence, but in the bigger picture and everything else being considered, it's not hard to see why it would raise some questions. And that's really what this entire theory is based off of. How many coincidences are you willing to overlook in order to believe the official narrative that there's nothing else going on here? Even if you think—
Yeah, because his Instagram posts are fucking strange. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, dude, all these pictures of random kids, like, for what, bro? Like, for what fucking reason, bro? Like, are these they all can't be your nieces and nephews. Like, what is going on here, bro? Like,
this is just a bunch of conspiracy nonsense, it's not hard to see why so many people buy into it, because in order to believe there's nothing else going on, you have to chalk so many things up to coincidence and just overlook them. The cryptic emails, the occult rituals being mentioned in the emails, the profile picture, the pictures posted on the Instagram. And there's also the elephant in the room of why is this man who is attracted to other men, so he has no kids of his own, spending so much time
with
around
kids.
so many different young children? Putting aside the weird context
That's what I'm saying. Like best case scenario, they're his nieces and nephews. Worst case scenario, yeah.
and captions of these pictures, who even are these children? And clearly I'm not the only one wondering that, because even Snopes notes how strange his Instagram was and how James Alefantis does not have any children, and neither do his closest associates. And they also—
So then who the fuck are they, bro? What is going on? Are people just randomly letting this dude take pictures with their babies or some shit? That is weird, bro.
note how it was privated only 2 days after it was found, so clearly he knew how bad this all looked. And they even say in this same article that Pizzagate is false and it's all nonsense and not real at all. So even they can't just overlook this. They have to address the elephant in the room and be like, yeah, this guy's Instagram page is really fucking weird, and we actually have no clue who these kids are. And again, that's overlooking all the other stuff. Even if we knew how these kids were connected to James Alefantis, the pictures would still be really weird. The context of them, the captions. But on top of all of that, this is a guy with a boyfriend, so the kids clearly aren't his, and his closest associates and his friends don't have any children. While none of this is hard evidence of anything criminal happening, it really does make you wonder.
It's not hard evidence, but that motherfucker stink. The room stink, no cap.
What's really going on here, and that's a genuine question. I would love for somebody to explain to me how this is all very innocent in nature and there's nothing weird going on, and I'm open to that explanation, I just haven't heard it. All of this just looks very weird, and it seems like the farther down this rabbit hole you go, you're left with more questions than answers. All I'm saying is that when you connect all the dots together, it really doesn't look good, and it does make you wonder if there's more going on here than what we know. Speaking of connecting the dots, James Alefantis has this picture of Marina Abramovich posted to his Instagram.
So Marina is the common link. Marina, little freaky ass, is the bind that ties type shit. Okay.
So at the very least, he's a fan of her work, which I would say isn't exactly normal. I don't think I've ever personally met a Marina Abramovich fan, and I think most people don't even know who the hell that is. James Alefantis also has connections to Tony Podesta, John Podesta's brother. Here they are pictured together in what seems to be some sort of campaign or fundraiser taking place at Comet. Doesn't really matter, but there they are. Okay, but that could just be a campaign. That doesn't really prove that they know each other, right? Well, here's another picture from the event that is much more candid, and it was posted to Jimmy Comet. He is literally brushing elbows with Tony Podesta in front of a cake, and side note, this guy is absolutely cheesing. Whether they know each other well or not, clearly Alefantis is very happy to be there next to Tony Podesta. And this just raises even more questions, especially when you look into Tony Podesta's art collection. And that's a whole nother can of worms that I'm not going to open here. All I'll say is that if you look at this guy's art collection, it feels illegal. It feels like I'm doing something wrong seeing it on my computer, and it's all over this guy's walls. When I started researching this, I went in hoping to find answers to some of this, but it doesn't seem like there are any. Everyone's very quick to tell you that this is all conspiracy and it's made up nonsense, and that very well might be the case, but nobody actually shows you where it's been disproven. Now let's talk about some of the symbolism that people have noticed, because I know I've said it a few times at this point, but it really does just get weirder and weirder. In 2007, an FBI document leaked showing specific symbols that predators use to identify each other.
Symbols. Hold on.
At this point, but it really does just get
So his art collection looks like those symbols or some shit? Is that what we're gonna get? Hold on.
weirder and weirder. In 2007, an FBI document
I'm gonna look. Oh my god. What the fuck? This looks fucking crazy, bro. So basically, if the artwork he's buying looks like this shit, he's actually crazy. He's actually crazy.
It leaked showing specific symbols that predators use to identify each other. While looking at this document, people noticed that these symbols appear quite frequently in businesses, logos, and imagery of not only Comet Pizza, but surrounding businesses as well. For starters, Comet Pizza had this Play, Eat, and Drink, or PED logo on their website, which many people believe resembles one of these symbols. On the subject of Comet Pizza's website, the website was hacked
Well, I wouldn't know because none of the symbols I saw look like that shit. So I don't know.
in 2016, and the hacker shared an apparent members-only section. This members-only area was password protected, but when a password was entered, it brought you to a downloads page. On this page, you're able to download various large zip files, but each one requires a specific download key. Keep in mind, this is a pizza place. What could possibly be the reason to have a members-only section on the website with
Hey, bro, hold on, slow down. Maybe they got like specialty pizzas that they make, bro. We don't know yet, bro. Don't jump the gun, buddy. Hold on, wait. Hey, they definitely do some freaky ass legal shit, no cap.
downloadable files available? And what is in these folders that is so exclusive that each one requires a unique password in order to be able to download it? And this wasn't some staff-only area of the website, which even that wouldn't really make any sense, but there were apparently 110 people in this exclusive pizza club.
Damn.
Again, once this came out, the entire section of the website disappeared, which really does make you wonder, why? It's already bizarre that it was there to begin with, but why was it removed once the public found out about it? Again, assuming this is all real, because I don't have a way to verify it myself at this point. It was apparently deleted 10 years ago, but why did they try to bury it? Why did they try to cover it up? What's there that they don't want you to see? While looking into Comet Pizza, some people noticed something peculiar about the logo of Besta Pizza, another pizza place in Washington, D.C., located only 2 blocks down from Comet. Besta Pizza's logo is literally the boy lover symbol.
It is that symbol. What the fuck? That looks ridiculous. Oh my god.
From from the FBI document. Of course, this could be a coincidence, but again, as soon as people started talking about this online and pointing it out, Besta Pizza immediately changed.
They're gonna change the logo immediately because it looks like the I'm not gonna say what that symbol is. That's fucking nuts. I'm not saying that shit on my channel, but we're gonna change that symbol. Yep.
Their logo and removed the symbol.
Damn.
Could they have just genuinely not known this, and then as soon as people start talking about it online, they realize and change it? Yeah, sure. And to be honest, Besta Pizza was kind of put in a lose-lose situation, because if they ignore what's going on and don't do anything, people are going to point to the symbolism and say they're involved. But if they do something like change their logo, people are going to say, oh, well, obviously they did know about this symbolism, and now they're trying to cover it up.
Maybe they just didn't know for real. Like, we'll never know.
People online have made the claim that Besta Pizza, which is now closed, was owned by Andrew Klein, who worked with the Human Trafficking Prosecution Unit under Obama's Department of Justice. And if that was the case, it would be a glaring red flag and would make the symbolism in the logo being a coincidence seemingly impossible. However, doing my own research...
But why would he put such a crazy, like thing like that in the logo, knowing what he works for, or what he used to work for? Why would he put that there? Didn't he used to like work? You say he
under Obama's Department of Justice. And have made the claim that Besta Pizza, which is now closed, was owned by Andrew.
Well, that's a claim. Does that claim have real evidence behind it? I don't think so. I don't know. This might be the loosest string of them all, honestly, but maybe.
Andrew Klein, who worked with the Human Trafficking Prosecution Unit under
It's a very weak maybe though.
Obama's Department of Justice. And if that was the case, it would be a glaring red flag and would make the symbolism in the logo being a coincidence seemingly impossible. However, doing my own research, that doesn't seem to be the case, and I would say that there's a very small probability that there's any truth behind that claim at all. The DC Department of Consumer and Regulatory Affairs listed Besta Pizza under the corporate entity Uptown Pizza Inc., and Andrew Klein is listed as a non-commercial registered agent, which means that he was a third party associated with Besta Pizza, most likely a lawyer, but definitely not the owner. I say most likely a lawyer because Veritas Law Firm in Washington, D.C. has an Andrew J. Klein listed as their co-founder, who's been representing business and real estate clients for over 30 years. And from his picture, he's visibly a different person than the one associated with the Obama administration. If you ask me to point to one part of this whole theory that I think is most likely to be just a...
So this part of the theory is actually deadass, like it's kind of windy, conspiratorial bullshit. Everything else, maybe. Strong, maybe. But this is why I hate conspiracies so much, because a lot of these conspiracies can literally be boiled down to you're just bullshitting, shut up. But some of them are actually real for real. Like that Epstein shit is actually like that shit. This is real, this is fake. We're getting, like, we're right here. No cap, we're basically here. That shit real, nigga. No cap.
Coincidence, it would be this part. And I really do think that these two men are just both named Andrew J. Klein. But who knows, maybe the lawyer isn't a real person and he's actually a honeypot designed by the deep state in order to make the whole
now we're getting weird. Nigga talking about, and once niggas start talking about the deep state, it's getting fucking weird. Okay.
Conspiracy more easy to delegitimize. I don't think that's likely, but crazier things have happened. Just across the street from Comet Ping Pong and Besta Pizza is a French restaurant known as Terrasol Gallery. And again, just like
no cap, I used to watch these dudes on, they had this channel called Edge of Wonder, and they used to talk about conspiracy theories a lot. I thought it was really cool. I never really sat there and believed anything that they said though. I might have believed a little bit, I think, but as I got older, I was realizing that, like, low-key, this is some bullshit, and I don't really give a fuck about what these guys are talking about, so I just stopped watching them. But they used to talk about conspiracy theories all the fucking time, bro. That shit was crazy. And one of the main things that made me, like, kind of stop watching, they just kept talking about the deep state. And I was like, the deep state? What are these niggas talking about? What deep state? Like, and that shit just confused me, and I was just like, I don't know what they're talking about, because I've literally seen videos disproving that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, it's not computing, it's not correlating, I'm gonna just stop watching.
Besta Pizza, as soon as people started talking about this logo online, it vanished from their website. They were put into the same lose-lose situation, and again, people took this response and action as an admission of guilt. And again, if there weren't so many other coincidences, I don't think that people would have harped on this point so much, but there are so many other coincidences and people can only lend you so much credence. Also on the Terrasol website was a picture of Hillary Clinton there, and I will not comment any farther on that. She was there though, and that's a pretty strong endorsement. The food was probably really good. Of course, people were also looking into the Comet logo at this time, and while there was no
Yeah, she went there for fucking food, guys. Food.
latent symbology that was mentioned in the FBI document, people did find something strange. Now stay with me because this is gonna sound like a reach, and it did to me at first too, but people pointed out that the Comet logo features crescent moons similar to some depictions.
This is a fucking reach. This is the biggest reach I have. This is actually one of the biggest reaches I've seen in this whole video. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh my god, what the fuck, the Baphomet? Nigga, comment. This has like a, the thing is clearly low-key kind of space themed. They're just putting stars and moons there because it's space themed. Nobody, really, nigga? Like, come on, bro. This is at your stretch.
Of Moloch.
I'm not trying to defend these people. I don't give a fuck about these niggas, but come on, that's kind of a stretch. Let's keep it a bean, bro. Be for real.
Those of you who don't know, Moloch is a deity from the Hebrew Bible strongly associated with child sacrifice. Some depictions of Moloch, especially later depictions, show him with a star on his forehead and 2 crescent moons.
This is not Moloch. This is the Baphomet. I thought this was the Baphomet. This is literally completely different. What the fuck? Am I missing something here, bro? Like, okay. No, because I could have swore. This is completely different. This is different. He's wrong.
Around either one of his hands. I know this seems like a massive reach.
It is a massive reach. It's actually, you're shooting from the stratosphere, brother. Holy fuck.
But guess what old world god's name appears in an Instagram post by Jimmy Comet? That's right. In this post on Jimmy Comet's...
Where? Let me see. Bean grinder, I don't. Iron hand towels, knives, toasters, Jimmy Comet. What the hell?
Instagram showing off some Christmas presents he received. If you zoom in...
Moloch machine. This is still a fucking reach. Maybe this is just some bullshit. This is a reach, bro. No, bro. We grasping at straws here, gang. I ain't gonna lie. We're grasping at straws here, bro. I don't know. Is this even English? This might not even be English, bro. This might be some international shit, nigga.
And on the bottom left, you can see the word Moloch. That is so strange. And it's not like it's in a book or anything either. It looks like it's printed out on a single sheet of paper. Personally, I've never received any sort of gift, especially not a Christmas gift, referencing Moloch or any other deity. Maybe this is normal and I'm just out of the loop or something, but to me, that seems really weird. Especially when you keep in mind all the ties to the occult in Marina Abramovich. It's all just so strange, and when that's the best case scenario, that
Marina shit is kind of weird though. She do be doing some freaky ass shit, but this shit a reach. I ain't gonna lie. This part of it was a reach for me. No cap. We're kind of trying to tie shit together a little bit, and we're starting to stab ourselves in the fingers a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me?
Scenario is that you do occult rituals and worship old world deities that are connected to human sacrifice. It doesn't exactly leave a positive impression on people. The Pizzagate conspiracy all coalesced into one incident that took place at Comet Ping Pong, and my good friend Mr. Pilled is gonna jump in.
Yeah.
And give you the rundown on the entire event.
In 2016, a crazed lunatic, driven mad by absurd conspiracy theories, stormed into Comet's Pizza armed with a rifle. Totally incoherent and insane, of course, he starts
Damn, a rifle? Shit, what the fuck? How the nigga get a rifle? How's he packing that much artillery in Washington, D.C.?
firing wildly at everyone and hurts no one, and only destroys one very peculiar and convenient item. According to the official Department of Justice narrative, 29-year-old Edgar Welch did indeed walk into Comet's Pizza armed with a AR-15.
Damn, this nigga really he a real deal gun user for real, for real. This nigga got a tactical grip on that bitch. God damn. The fuck? Bro, only school shooters have tactical grips on their rifles, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Now let me stop. I don't know. I don't own guns, bro. I don't partake in that type of shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, this is crazy, bro.
And a revolver. Customers and employees alike fled, while Edgar
Yeah, I would have took off. I would have, boy.
himself
Boy, I would have did that in the wind like the Flash, nigga. Like, woo, crazy, bitch.
remained inside of the restaurant for about 20 minutes. What was he doing in there? Well, he found a locked closet door, and he tried to jimmy it open. But when he couldn't, he decided to fire rounds into the door. After that, he didn't try and continue to get inside. He didn't break down the door. He stashed away his rifle and his revolver, walks outside unarmed, and is then arrested and sentenced to 4 years in prison. Now, what was inside that closet randomly that happened to get hit and destroyed? It was a computer, and everything on it was now gone. I don't know about you, but even before looking deeper into it, even the official narrative is very weird. It's just way too clean for an active shooter event like this, historically speaking.
Yeah, because these active shooters, they be fucking hallucinating and crazy and just trying to kill everything. This nigga just walked in there, shot one thing, and just stepped out. At least nobody lost their life though. That's a good thing. No cap.
These are not so happy ending. Authorities claim that the AR-15 and the revolver were recovered inside of the restaurant, and then they discovered a shotgun hidden in his trunk with some ammunition. But one of the only eyewitnesses to this event, a lawyer in Maryland named Sharif, who was there with his wife and kids, claims that Edgar walked in initially with a shotgun. While this whole thing was going down, Sharif was making a series of tweets detailing the situation, while he also claims that Edgar stashed away the shotgun potentially for future use. In the official narrative, it does describe Edgar stashing weapons away for potential future use. However, my problem lies in the discrepancy between what kind of weapon. And that's because you don't have to be a firearms expert to tell the difference between a shotgun and an AR-15. They're very distinct. They have very distinct profiles and silhouettes. Anyways, get this. Edgar Welch is an actor listed on IMDb. Now that alone would be just a crazy, weird coincidence, right? But his father...
I'm so goddamn lost. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. He's an actor. He shot a computer. He didn't shoot nobody. What happened? Like, what's going on?
Harry Welch owns a media company by the name of Forever Young Productions. You can't make this shit up. That's not where the oddities...
You kind of can, bro. I don't know, bro. I'm not a very big conspiracy type of nigga. Like, I don't know, bro. This shit kind of... This shit for entertainment purposes only. No, I ain't gonna lie, bro.
And though, Harry Welch is a creature in his own. According to his IMDb bio, Harry Welch is a very, very distinguished fella. Let's take a look at it. Written over 30 screenplays. He took up karate in his 30s. That's pretty late, pretty old to be fighting. And then went undefeated in 200 matchups. Wow. Holy moly. He holds 7 Guinness Book World Records for...
This nigga was beating ass while writing. That's crazy, bro. Fuck.
One-armed, one finger, and one fingertip push-ups. Very impressive. Not only is he a physical specimen, but he's got a soft side too. He served as a foster family to 3 different children and is an avid animal lover, being a rescuer of animals for 30 years, rescuing tigers, jaguars, leopards, servals, and operating a no-kill shelter for dogs, housing up to 55 at a time. They have found forever homes for over 300.
Oh, that was cute what they did there, forever. Oh, that was adorable, man. Maybe he's a good guy. Maybe he's not a... Maybe he doesn't sacrifice kids to Moloch. Who knows, bro?
So sweet. Things start to get a little bit more serious, though, in his bio, saying he worked on federal, state, and local task forces fighting the war on drugs. Served 5 years with the Rowan County ABC Police. Side note, the ABC Police, I don't know what that is or what that stands for, because I couldn't find any information on what the hell the ABC Police was. Stakeouts, watching illegal stills, patrolling the county for suspected bootleggers, even working with the ATF. Gross. Even the President of the United States In 1988, Ronald Reagan himself
Damn,
recognized
nigga, not the devil. Not the devil himself. Holy shit. Look at this creepy old nigga, bro. Golly, look at that smile. Look at that geriatric ass smile. Oh my god.
the excellence of hair.
Look at this. Look at the hair. Look at him. It's crazy. Sometimes evil people be balding fast. But some evil people keep their hair up, keep their hair till they die. Man, that shit crazy.
Harry Welch, because he hand-selected him and 15 others to check out various military installations, even giving them national clearance and letting them check out the Cheyenne Mountain Nuclear Bunker, which is a command alternative for NORAD. That's big boy stuff right there. Why would goofy old Harry, owner of Forever Young Productions, need to explore a nuclear bunker? However, I think the weirdest highlight was one that stood out mainly because of the context. Served as executive director for Protect a Child, a national nonprofit organization to prevent abuse and abduction of children, appointed by Governor Jim Martin to the Governor's Commission on Child Victimization. In conjunction with this story and this conspiracy theory, that's a little weird. But what's weirder is the fact that this Protect a Child organization doesn't exist.
I was just finna say, what the fuck is that? Who wrote his bio? Somebody is out here, bro. Somebody out here doing some bullshit, bro. I ain't gonna lie. What the fuck? Like, who wrote his bio? They just put shit that's not real in there, bro. What the fuck?
At least I couldn't find anything on it. So, as far as I
No, that is kind of weird, though. That's strange.
know, this doesn't exist. So why would he put it in his bio? That's about as far as it goes for Harry Welch. I couldn't really find anything else, but I want to bring this back to Edgar because his story's not finished.
I'm not gonna lie. He has something in his mustache right here. It's kind of. I'm looking at it really, really hard. Y'all see it? Y'all see? Look at the tip of my like. Y'all see that? Is that a pimple or did he just eat a sandwich? I don't know. What y'all think? Leave it down in the comments down below.
Yet. So I like to remain skeptical when I dive deep into these subjects, so that way I don't get sucked into that I want to believe mindset, you know? Because I think that's
Yeah, I don't either, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, he's definitely sacrificing kids and doing all the bullshit. I just take the information for what it is, and if somebody, and I'm always ready to be proven wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody says something, like especially with the Epstein files, if evidence comes out that proves that the people in those files are more innocent, I'll accept it. It's evidence, bro. But I ain't gonna lie. Nobody in that motherfucker innocent. Everybody in there, it might just be like spawns of Satan, bro. No cap.
pretty easy. I was asking myself, if he was really a part of this conspiracy, what would he gain from destroying that computer? What would be his motive to do that? And looking into Edgar's past, I think I found a fairly reasonable...
I was just finna say, why would he destroy why did he just walk in there and destroy the computer and then just walk out and get arrested? What was the point? What was the whole point to this shit? Like,
potential answer to that. See, previous to the charges that landed him a 4-year sentence after walking into Comet's Pizza, Edgar had struck a 13-year-old child in a reckless driving incident. And as a man who had previous DWI...
Did he kill it? Did he kill the kid?
...charges, he was facing a pretty serious sentencing. And if we're playing with the idea that some very powerful people needed a scapegoat or a way to get rid of some evidence or a way to maybe suppress these conspiracy theories that were making their ways out into the public, then I think it'd be a no-brainer if he was left between the choices of leaving his fate and his freedom up to the court system, potentially facing much harsher punishment, or, you know, walk into this pizza joint. Don't hurt anybody. Don't do nothing too bad. Just destroy this computer. Get 4 years, you know, fairly light, and then be on your way. Have your previous charges nullified. It's a good deal. I'd take that deal. Just...
Did he have his... For real? That's a sweet motherfucking deal. No wonder you ain't shooting nobody. Golly.
some food for thought. Well, to finally wrap this chapter up, Edgar didn't even get to enjoy his freedom because...
Did he die? He definitely died. He got fucking killed or some shit.
5 years after his release, in January of 2025, Edgar was killed in a officer-related shooting after a traffic stop. Apparently, he pulled a gun on officers, and no one knows why. Sounds a lot like a loose end tied up to me. But what do I know?
Big thank you to Ethan.
Nah, I feel like he just got cooked, honestly, bro. He just got cooked. That's what it is to me.
or Mr. Pilled for jumping in and going over that whole section. He's a really great dude. I've known him for about 5 years now, which is crazy. Time flies. But he makes really good videos. If you like the stuff that I post over here, there's a good chance that you'll like a lot of his content as well. So I'll leave a link to his stuff in the description and in the comments. Go check him out and tell him to post more often. He did a really good job, so I don't feel the need to yap too much about this. But again, just so many coincidences that you have to overlook. What are the chances that this guy is facing serious criminal charges before he decides to do something like this? It's not impossible, but it is a little bit weird. What are the odds that this guy, who happens to be an actor, decides to go into Comet with a rifle and do something like this and nobody gets hurt except the computer is destroyed? That's pretty convenient. Not impossible. I mean, maybe he was just a lunatic. Crazy people do crazy things all the time. But again, with everything else taken into consideration, it gets harder to...
He just seemed like he had way too much direction. Like, he just went immediately for the computer, bro. He didn't look at nobody. He just walked in there, shot the computer, and walked out. Like, that was it, bro. Like, he just seemed like he had too much direction, bro.
Ignore these oddities in the story. If it was just a few weird things, it would be much easier to say people are just drawing lines and connections where there really aren't any, and it's all just one crazy conspiracy theory. But
I could still say that right now. We have 7 minutes left in the video, and with all the shit that Jay just said, I could still be like, bro, these niggas are just talking bullshit and go about my day. And I low-key want to, because honestly, bro, I see where they're going with this shit. And the evidence, and these people are doing some very weird and strange shit. But man, like, they just have not been... The evidence just doesn't seem solid enough for me. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
when every single beat of the story is filled with these coincidences, it gets harder and harder for people to just overlook them and say, yeah, there's no chance that any of this is real. Maybe the official story is 100% true and this really is nothing more than a conspiracy, and none of these things are connected at all in any way. But in the court of public opinion, you're going to have a really hard time convincing people of that. The human brain is designed to recognize patterns, so when seemingly all of this stuff is connected, you're going to have a really hard time convincing people that that's not the case. That pretty much summarizes the entire theory, or at least everything that I can cover here in a reasonable amount of time. The whole thing goes so incredibly deep that I would never be able to cover absolutely everything. If this does interest you, I highly recommend going down the rabbit hole yourself, because there's just an endless amount of theories and
I'm too lazy to do no shit like that. I ain't gonna lie. I do not give a fuck about that shit that much, bro. No cap. Not gonna lie.
speculation online. But before
If y'all want to do that, though, y'all can do that for sure. That's y'all prerogative, not mine, though.
we go, here are a bunch of other coincidences that I stumbled across when researching that I couldn't really fit into the main portion of this script. First of all, Hillary Clinton, who is seemingly very tied into this whole alleged scandal. She's very connected to all the people who are directly involved. Well, Frank Giestra, a member of the Clinton Foundation Board of Trustees, who's donated over $100 million to the foundation.
Damn, that boy Frank got mad money. What the hell? No way he's using that damn symbol. That's fucking crazy. Ugh. But it could just be some Greek shit. This is Greek. It could just be some Greek shit. I don't know. Maybe it's just some Greek shit. Who knows?
Helped fund the El Paida Project, a project focused on raising the living conditions of refugees. The logo is literally the exact same as the symbol mentioned in the FBI document.
Oh, wait. No, it's not. Hold on, wait a minute. It's kind of tipped on its side a little, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It's different. It's like, this shit is like, you know, and this one is like, starts from the bottom and goes this way. This one, it goes in different directions, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we're kind of grasping at straws here. I don't know, bro.
Or boy lover. The Besta Pizza logo was pretty on the money with that same symbol. This is literally just that symbol. It's exact. It's not even a different color. It is just a giant blue spiraling triangle. Another person connected to the Clintons is Laura Silsby, the founder of New Life Children's Refuge. She went to Haiti in 2010 to help rehome orphaned children after the catastrophically destructive magnitude 7 earthquake. What a kind-hearted woman, right? Surely she would never traffic children. Well, guess what? She was caught by Haitian authorities smuggling 33 children on a bus across the Haitian border.
Nah, that is fucking crazy. She's nuts. Nah, that is some freaky ass shit. Actually, that's definitely some freaky shit. That's just that's a real conspiracy right there. What the fuck was she gonna do with those kids, bro? All that other shit, straws. Now that's a bed. That's a bed of Of truth, nigga. No cap.
to the Dominican Republic. She was doing this without permission from Haiti, so illegal, and then when she was detained, it became quickly apparent that most of, if not all of these children weren't even orphans. So she took essentially a class full of children, took them away from their families, and then tried to flee the country and cross the border. Well, she was held in Haiti facing charges of conspiracy and child abduction until Bill Clinton stepped in and got her charges reduced to arranging irregular travel. She served a 6-month sentence in Haiti and then was returned to the United States. And fun fact, this woman who tried to smuggle children across the border away from their families has since changed her name to Laura Gaylor and has since been given an executive role at AlertSense, the company that provides the delivery infrastructure for Amber Alert. You know Amber Alert? The shit that pings your phone when a child goes missing? Yeah, a woman who was tried for child abduction is working for that company as an executive.
And that is actually fucking crazy, bro. That's nuts. That's like, well, what could I say? That's like Anakin Skywalker working in an orphanage. Like, that's crazy.
That is so awesome. And then when Monica Peterson, the assistant director at the Human Trafficking Center in Colorado, began looking into the Clintons' involvement in Haiti, she was found dead. Of course, this was ruled to be caused by her own volition. Haven't heard that one before, right guys? And then there's one more slice to this story, and one that has largely been forgotten as time has moved on. It's something known as Cheesy Bay. This is the last time you'll hear me say this here, but I'm not asserting that this is true, and you should really take this last part with a grain of salt because it relies heavily on unproven claims. On April 21st, 2016, a Reddit throwaway account posted the question, why would there be 30-something Wi-Fi networks apparently coming from underneath a concrete pad? The user says that they had recently been working on a semi-urban farm property in Honolulu, and he then connected the man who owned the property to an eBay account selling faulty computer parts for ridiculous prices. The eBay accounts allegedly belonged to a man going under the aliases Biff Skipman and Dave Flintstone. Someone apparently managed to hack into his emails and found correspondence with Sasha Lord, a DC area mentor for at-risk children, and also the event organizer at Comet Ping Pong. Now, the reason that I specifically mentioned that you should take this part as a grain of salt is because these emails were never fact-checked or verified by any government agency or third-party source, unlike the Podesta emails, so we don't even know if these are true. But allegedly,
that Podesta shit might actually be true for real low key. I think the Marina stuff is true. But this part, everything past the halfway mark is kinda iffy, but everything back here might be true. Keyword might. We don't know.
This eBay seller and the event organizer at Comet Ping Pong had been put in touch by a person named Richard Windsor. Who is Richard Windsor? Well, it happens to be a known alias for the Environmental Protection Agency administrator Lisa Jackson, who is also a Clinton Foundation board member. This part is true. She was caught using the fake email name Richard Windsor for who knows what, right? So it was already known that she had been communicating under the alias of Richard Windsor. So it's very plausible that people online already knew that she was communicating under this alias, and then they added this alias into this theory or story to kind of make it seem more credible. But coincidentally, Dave Flintstone, the man who was apparently running this eBay account, also happens to be the name of a man who founded a distillery in Hawaii. If you remember, OP said that they had been working on an urban farm area in Honolulu. This bag from OP's pictures also resembles a bag that Dave Flintstone has been photographed with. And there's one more email from the Podesta leaks that I haven't mentioned to you yet. Man, I miss you. The next 3 months are going to be rougher internally than in Beijing. Between 7th and 1600. No fun. Hope you're doing okay. I'm dreaming about your hot dog stand in Hawaii. This email was sent from Todd Stern, another Democratic donor and a person tied in with the Clintons. That seems like a weird thing to say. I'm dreaming about your hot dog stand in Hawaii. Well, this is a very recent revelation, but in April of this year, a man named David Flintstone, who is a resident of Hawaii, was arrested in Colombia for soliciting a minor. Upon responding, the officers found the 60-year-old foreigner in the company of a 15-year-old. Initial investigations in—
Where did he find him? You said, where? Colombia? This nigga went to Colombia to go talk to a 15-year-old. You're so fucking lame, bro. Like you're so lame. You couldn't talk to no grown hoes over there. You had to go talk to a 15-year-old, bro. You're crazy, bro. You're crazy, man.
Was arrested in Colombia
Fire
for
for that.
soliciting a minor. Upon responding, the officers found the
Nigga couldn't talk to no grown hoes. You're 60 talking to a 15-year-old. You're crazy as this nigga's crazy as shit, bro. And he was finna give her 1,000,000 pesos. This man's crazy.
60-year-old foreigner in the company of a 15-year-old. Initial investigations indicate that the man had arranged an encounter with her worth 1,000,000 pesos. The David Flintstone that was arrested in Colombia also happens to be the same age as the one who founded the dispensary. They're both 60 years old. For whatever reason, the man's face is blurred in the article, so there's no way to tell for sure if this is the same person. But if these are two different men, that is a wild coincidence, because they would have to share the same first name, the same last name, be the same age, and both be from Hawaii. And even though the man arrested in Colombia had his face blurred, they do vaguely resemble each other, especially in the body structure. As of right now, like I said, there's no official confirmation that these are the same people, so we'll just have to wait and see if anything else comes out. But those odds have to be like 1 in a billion. That is crazy. Especially in Hawaii, I just looked it up, and the population is under 1.5 million people, so it's a very small state. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Please let me know in the comments what you think about all of this, because I'm very curious to hear what you guys take away and what your opinions are. Do you believe the theory? Do you think that it's all nonsense, or is the truth somewhere in the middle? Again, thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it all the way through. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you
I think the truth is somewhere in the middle. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm more leaning on the fact that it might not be real, rather than it is real. But it's how conspiracies are, bro. Honestly, a lot of these conspiracies have been proven to be false. But hey, you never know, bro. This shit could be real, nigga. This shit is getting spooky out here, no cap. It ain't even Halloween yet, bro. Shit crazy, bro. We just started the year, bro. With that being said, make sure to like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. If y'all believe anything y'all heard here, leave in the comments down below and tell me why you believe it. And I'll be very interested to hear what you have to say. And with that being said, I'm gonna catch y'all next one. We out.